Yeah, just, first of all, going back to last week, proud of our guys. Go on the road in the Big 12 to get a win is always hard, but I thought our guys were very resilient in that game, went out and played hard, played physical, all the way through the end. I thought, there's a point in time there in the second half where the game really could have went either way, and, proud of our guys and how we finished the fourth quarter, getting a couple of turnovers, including a pick six, and then, just finishing it off. I thought it was a great environment. It's homecoming out there at Oklahoma State, but really proud of the way that we finished out that game, and looking forward to this week. Playing Baylor, a very talented team. Coach Aranda's done a great job with this team. I think you go back to last year when they won 6 in a row to finish the season, and this year have been in every game, including lost some very close games as well. Outstanding offense, number one passing offense in the country. The quarterback's an outstanding player. They have some great talent on the outside with some wide receiver play. Good running back, defense, aggressive defense that has done a really nice job on that side of the ball as well. And I think their special teams are very, very solid. So, a complete team. It'll take a great effort out of our guys this week in practice to get ready to go play this team.
I think only 27 snaps for Dante last week. Is that just load management? Is the ankle still not all the way back? Is it a little of both?
Yeah, probably a little of both. Trying to work him back in, and obviously he's not 100%. I think if you watch the film, you can see that. And but obviously having his presence out there and being around our guys is huge for us. But yeah, I think if you even go back, he's probably not playing more than 35 snaps anyway. So normally we rotate a lot of guys up front. We're going to rotate a lot of linebackers. Anytime there's a change for offensive personnel, then we're going to rotate. So we're always going to continue to do that. But hopefully each and every week as we go through the remainder of the season, that hopefully he's healing up, better and better.
How much of their success in the run game was maybe showing stuff that they hadn't put on tape with the new play caller? Was there anything to that, or did they had a really good day?
I think they did a good job with what they did offensively. They were more sound, I think, offensively. Got into some unbalanced personnel. A couple of plays that got out on us, I thought, was a crack replace where we didn't replace, and they had a 41-yard run on that. A couple of times we didn't spill the blocker on the interior, and they popped a couple runs. So really a couple runs we didn't fit right. But again, give them some credit. I thought the running back ran hard. I thought the offensive line blocked well. And then the quarterback, he presents problems because he's very athletic. Once he got out and got loose a few times, picked up a few rushing yards, scored a touchdown. But I do think they were a lot more sound in their game planning for this. This is the first time that the new play caller was calling. I thought he did a good job.
Sorsby's ability to distribute the ball to different people, is that something, I don't know if you can coach that, or is that just based on game plans each week? How has he done so well there?
Yeah, he's done a really good job with that, just because it comes back to taking what the defense gives us. I think in the past I've had maybe, where there's one or two guys we want to get the ball to, and so we just keep calling the plays for those one or two guys. That's not been the case this year. I feel like we're blessed to have a bunch of guys that can make plays. And so this year it's more about calling the play because we like the way the play looks against that defense, and then not really caring where the ball goes. Like, all right, what is the defense doing? Who are they covering? Hit the ball to the uncovered guy. And I think that's why you've been able to see the distribution of the ball, with a bunch of different guys making some great catches. A couple of running backs that can make plays for us. You got, the tight ends are making plays. And so I think it's very difficult to defend that when you have so many guys that are making plays. And a great example is Cyrus Allen had one catch last week, and in this past game, he gets 3 touchdowns. So you just never know when the ball is going to find you, but when it does, you have to be prepared and ready to go make a play.
Scott, with you guys on a 6-game winning streak, how much fun are you having coaching this team right now as they just continue to stack wins and now being bowl eligible?
Yeah, it goes back to really back to this summer with these guys. These guys are fun to be around. They're, just hanging out in the building here. We've been saying this all summer of how we love being around the guys, and they love being around each other, sitting in this, awesome building that we're in here. and then, you know, as you start playing and winning, obviously winning's fun. But what's fun about our guys too is just the week, like the week preparation. Like it's fun to Tuesday's practice and Wednesday's practice, and then getting to Thursday and Friday. Like it's just fun being around them because they're so intentional in their work of what they're putting in and their routine. That's what's fun, you know. And I think Saturday is just showing just the fruit of all the labor they're putting in throughout the whole week.
Get to win the turnover battle again. How did it feel to be able to have the ball bounce you guys' way? You know, earlier in the season, there's a few forced fumbles, but they bounced right back into the team's, hand. You know, just how did it feel to win that battle?
Well, that's outstanding. And to finally get an interception was very joyful, to say the least. And then, you know, when McDoom's hitting the sideline, felt like he had a chance to score, which was great. I think a lot of the coaches have talked about it. Sometimes it's the law of averages. Sometimes if it doesn't go your way, eventually it will. And we finally got some this past week. But that's a huge deal. To me, that's one of the number one stats you got to look at is turnover margin. It's going to give you the best opportunity and chance to win games if you can take care of the football, and then obviously if you can create some turnovers. And we've done a good job this year defensively of punching out the ball, creating some fumbles. And again, we got one Saturday with the bad snap, and then getting the interception was huge in the fourth quarter because that game was kind of back and forth in the third, and then we were able to blow it open in the fourth quarter because of those mishaps.
How much does it help that your pressure rate's doesn't jump off the page at you, but your sack rate has been a lot better than the pressure rate? I guess would indicate how much of a help has that been. You haven't been able to force the turnovers at the rate you'd like maybe, but you have been able to get to the quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, we're picking and choosing when we're going to get to the quarterback. I mean, there's just a fine line in there where, if you bring pressure, if they get out on you, then it's probably going to the touchdown, but if you don't, then you can keep everything in front of you. It's just a fine line. Obviously we'd love to shut them down every play and get sacks and turnovers. I mean, wouldn't everybody, I think, but you have to be calculated in what you're doing. I thought Saturday, one time we brought a bunch of pressure. The quarterback gets out, and he launches one about 55 yards in the air, and he hit it on the sideline. It was a big play for him. Great play by the quarterback and receiver. But, but we tried to get after him right there. But other times we've not. We've just rushed three and then had that linebacker spy, and we've been able to get some pressure that way. So I do think, we have to continue to mix it up. We do have to get some pressure on the quarterback. They can't sit back there all day. I mean, these guys we're playing, especially the next – 5 quarterbacks we're playing are really good, as we finish out this season. So it'll be a big test for us this week playing this offense.
How much different is it going? You face the last 2 quarterbacks are looking to get out of the pocket, scramble. Baylor's not really looking to get out of the pocket and run around. They're looking to push the thing down the field and make plays over the top of you. How much different for your defense is that during the week?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a difference for sure. Central Florida's guy could really run. And then, of course, last week this guy could run as well. So, yeah, I mean, this quarterback at Baylor is looking to throw the ball down the field. They do get rid of the ball pretty quickly. They have some really good weapons on the outside. Yeah, you got to defend it a little bit different, I think. So defensively, you don't have to worry about the quarterback taking off and running and getting yards from you. So, but there's different things that we have to worry about. The accuracy that he has, the strong arm that he has, the ability to throw the ball down the field in tight windows, where maybe the last 2 couldn't do that. So there's just some differences that you're going to have to defend more so than the Q run.
Baylor's, they score a lot of points. There's no qualms about it. But they give up a lot of points. I see their run defense is they normally give up close to 200 yards. Like, with you guys' line, how do you kind of look at that and just say, hey, Saturday we can possibly take advantage of that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the film, and I see watching their defense, and I think their defense is very good. I'm trying to find the yards that they're giving up because you start watching these cut-ups, and it's like they're not really giving up a lot. Doesn't look like to me. I think they're very sound. I think their D-line gets after. I think number 0 is a really good player. I think number 11 is an outstanding linebacker, all Big 12 linebacker. They're athletic in the back end, but you're right. I mean, they have given up some points, but they're in every game. I mean, they're literally in every game. Like last week, you're watching that game, and it was 3 minutes to go, and they're down 21. I'm thinking, oh, well, this game's over. Well, TCU fumbles, they pick it up and run it in. They get an onside. I mean, they're really right back in the game. It's incredible. So a lead's never good enough, I don't think, to say against this team. The way they can move the ball, the way they can score, very scary team for sure.
Scott, when you look at your team, does it look like to you, with the expectations coming into the season from the outside, maybe not being as high as what you guys have been performing at, is this team playing with a chip on their shoulder, or are they just playing for each other and seeing, let's see how good we can be?
Yeah, I think they're absolutely playing with a chip on their shoulder for sure. I think each and every time we go out on the practice field or game field, we got something to prove, and I think that's the way they're preparing, and that's what they're trying to do in the games. Trying to prove something. And I think anytime you have that mentality, then you're going to give yourself a chance. And I really we talk about this every week, and we're like numb talking about how it's all about our process. It's all about how we prepare. It's how we take care of our bodies throughout the week. It's about Tuesday's practice is like game day for us today. So there's so many things. I think this team has done a great job of the preparation throughout the week, which is showing up on game day.
Last year, around this time, you guys were 5-2. This year, 6-1, 6 straight wins. Is there one key difference you can point to between last year's team and this year's team going into the stretch run of Big 12 play?
Yeah, I don't know if there's one key difference. I just think we're playing really good as a team. I think it's not one side of the ball. It's not the special team. I think all three units have made some great plays for us this year. I think we have each other's back. If one side needs to pick me up, then maybe the other side will pick them up. Special team wise has been very solid this year as well. So to me, it's just great team play. We talk about playing clean. We've been a much cleaner team this year, and I think that's showing up in the way we're playing on Saturdays.
You've been working towards this for a long time. How does it feel to kind of finally be in this position where a conference championship and the joy of playing for a conference championship is in front of you?
Feels good. Feels good to get back to that. Obviously, my first 2 years, that was the goal, and even in my third year, that was our goal as a program, was to play for championships. So to have an opportunity to continue to take it 1 week at a time, keep stacking wins, and ultimately hopefully get to that goal, it's real exciting.
You're one of the leaders on the team. I know you guys have to not look ahead, but how satisfying is it to now be bowl eligible? You're one of those guys that have been through the rough times, and now you guys are coming across the other side. Yeah,
it's exciting. That's one of the things that I want to leave this place better than, at least as good as when I first got here. So that's one step in the right direction. So it's exciting to see those things, but obviously that's not the main goal. It's exciting, but,
Going off of JT's question, you were on this team, 2 years ago when you guys went to Stillwater. Didn't go well. This time, you guys were the ones taking it to them. How gratifying was that for you?
It was awesome, and I got that message across the team pretty well, I think. There was quite a few of us that were, on that trip and had that nasty taste in our mouth. They beat us up pretty good, and that flight home was rough. And, I made sure that point was across the team. A lot of the guys also did that. So it was good to, have a different outcome and things go our way this time.
How important have these fast starts been? Does it change the vibe on the sideline? Does it make you guys maybe kind of feel invincible a little bit when first two possessions you zip down the field and score?
Yeah, it gives us a tremendous amount of confidence. If you can go out there and execute right away at a high level, and that's something we have to do if we want to continue to win ball games. It gives us a lot of confidence that we can go out there. If we can do it the first two drives, why can't we do it every drive?
I don't want to make a comparison and make you pick.
Yeah.
But you were around for the 2021 offense. You're around for this one. Does it feel similar where really good at wide receiver, really good at tight end, really good at quarterback and running back? Like every position feels like it's dangerous.
Yeah, it feels pretty similar, I'd say, in a lot of ways. I know you said not to pick, and I would never do that. So
you can if you want to.
I don't know if I can do that. We'll see how we end up at the end of the year, and then I'll give you an honest reaction, maybe off camera. But that was a great team, and to be in any consideration, with that team is awesome.
The Lions had a lot of great success. How do you keep everybody grounded to just move forward to the next play? See, like the mistakes are down, but the successes you can see on the field.
I think just emphasizing how we started strong out last year. And then to see how the season ended, there's a lot of guys that have had really successful seasons in their college career, regardless if they were here or not. So they know that we have to take it one play at a time, one game at a time. And that hasn't been too hard for me to get that point across to the team. I think everybody knows and understands what the goal is.
As the center, what's supposed to happen on every play. Sat talked earlier about in years past in his career, you got one or two main guys. You're trying to feed the ball to them. How interesting is it from your perspective? The ball gets snapped, you block, but you have no idea where Brendan is going to spread it out to.
It's crazy because now the offense has kind of transitioned a little bit more into RPOs every once in a while. And that's where we get the penalties a couple times down the field. Something that he sees something that's wide open with a receiver that they brought in that, has done tremendous for us and gets open. And instead of, hand the ball off, he's going to pull it and throw it to the guy wide open. So it's been awesome. We got tremendous athletes out there, and they've all done a great job so far.
What's the difference in blocking between Tyree and Evan? Is it any different from your perspective, or you just do what you do and let those two guys go?
Just do what we do. For the most part, we don't ever really see who's back there, because they're constantly switching. And there's not really certain plays that are meant for each guy. Obviously, certain plays work out better for each guy, but there's not certain plays that a guy's going to be in there for. So, we just try and block the same for whoever's back there. And so far it's done, really good.
As the center, what's it like snapping to a guy that's in a rhythm like Brendan is right now?
Feels really good, as long as I get the ball right to him in his chest and let him take care of the job, and I do, my job up front, make sure everybody's on the same page. We can be really successful, as we've seen, and he's playing his best ball, right now, and he's continued to do that for us.
You got to keep him grounded from time to time. Remind him he's still one of the guys.
Yeah, I do, and in a lot of ways we joke about it, but he's playing great right now. He's got a little swagger to him, which is good to see, obviously. But he knows that he has continued to get better each week, and there's things that we can all improve on, and he's done that so far.
As a leader, what do you say, or do you say anything to the defense? Do you let Dante handle that? Like, how do you handle that, bridge that gap where maybe they've given up a bunch of yards, they didn't give up a touchdown? You go over and tap them on the head and, keep it working, keep those points off the board?
Yeah, I mean, there's the part where you want to, give them confidence and motivate them. But Logan and Dante and Golday and all those guys, JT and Jay Hunt even, they all keep those guys in the right headspace. That's kind of more on their part to do that. Obviously, I'll go over there, motivate them, tell them, if they give up a touchdown, whatever, we'll go out there, we'll get the points back, kind of get them right in the back in the right headspace. But those guys have done tremendous on that side of the ball.
Now that McDoom got that out of the way, are the floodgates open? Are the interceptions are going to start flowing now?
Man, they should. And it's crazy, though, when he got it, everybody knew he was going to the crib. So hopefully, the floodgates open, everybody get their hand on the ball this week.
It seemed like it trickled down kind of fast. You got a huge fumble recovery. What did you see on that botch snap?
I just seen it was just a missed snap, went under his legs, and I was just really blissing at the time anyway. So seen the ball, and then Kamari Burns was on it, and the ball just kind of squealed to my hands at the end. So it was a good little play.
So you guys go on the road, get a big win. Homecoming, against Baylor, they're a high-power offense. What do you see about that? Seeing that offense, and what do you think you got to kind of do to kind of slow them down?
They got good quarterback. They got good people on the perimeter, good tight end. It's just we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's, cover right, no MAs, no missed assignments, and just go out there and just compete how we know how to compete on an everyday basis.
When a team is going to throw the ball like they are, as a cornerback, are you kind of excited to meet that matchup?
It's cool because, they get to throw the ball around, and, we ain't really seen an offense like this before, so this probably be the first time we see an offense that actually throws the ball like almost the whole game. So it'll be fun out there.
All right, and then you guys are bowl eligible. I know you were taking it 1 week at a time. You were a guy that was here last year. How gratifying is it to be able to see that success come around that fast?
We not really even looking at the success really at this point. We just going one game at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. So regardless of what the success is, what the record says right now, we still got to go out day by day, keep working.
Daniel James getting some more snaps. They tried to pick on him a little bit maybe last week. What do you say to him or any young guy in that situation of, keep it going because they're going to keep coming at you until you make them not come at you? Right.
Just stay in the game. Just stay focused in the game. Stay locked in. It's going to be good plays. It's going to be bad plays. It's going to be ugly plays. But, you're young, so they is going to come at you. But at the end of the day, as long as you just hold your ground and just stay confident in your play and your technique is what Coach Hicks said, you'll be good.
What's the importance against a team like Baylor of third down, of getting off the field, of being able to maybe stop some of those drives before they get into plus territory?
Really just playing our game of football, just doing what we coach to do. Honestly, just getting off the field on third down really is a big emphasis for us. So that's just what we're going to have to do, just get off the field and, get the ball back to those.
What goes through your mind? You get a third down stop, and then the offense doesn't come off the field.
Yeah. We got to get a fourth down stop. So it is what it is. And, in today's day in football, people go for it a lot. So, like Coach B always preaches, like, we may have to play fourth down, so we're going to get off the field on fourth down. And, that's just what we preach and coach to do.
Does it feel like Madden, like playing a 10-year-old in Madden sometimes this year? There are no punts, there are no field goals. It's four downs and they're coming at you.
Right. You just know you got to play all four downs, like regardless of you get a third down stop, big third down deflection, or whatever the case may be, get big third down sack. We know we got to play the fourth down. We're going to get off the field. So,
how much do you get to watch the offense when you're sitting over there on the sideline?
Yeah.
Or have they scored by the time you guys are done talking?
It's actually, since they got jumbotrons and stuff, we kind of pay attention a little bit, see what everybody doing, see the O-line and Sorsby getting to work, or we, or EP, or Jeff, Goody, CA. So it's just fun seeing them out there and just, seeing them work.
Does that give you guys energy?
Yeah, because, you see a big play on the offensive side or Sorsby running, trucking folks and getting the first down. We on the sideline, okay, yeah, here we go. So, when we got to go back there, out there on defense, we got to get a stop and give them the ball right back.
What do you do when you see something like, I know it's a couple weeks ago, but Tywee run a guy over like he did Iowa State on the Jumbotron?
Yeah, we like, man, we see it every day. So it's like, it's good to see it on Saturday and good that he get to use his ability out there. So it's been good.
You get to see those guys. You get practice against them a lot. So how satisfying is to see them have success against other people?
Right. No, it's actually great. Because like we see it every day, like you said, but it's like good seeing it on Saturday, seeing like the fans cheer, seeing their little celebrations and things in that nature, and just seeing them have fun with the game. So it's kind of good.
And it's homecoming weekend. Do you got any special routines you're doing for homecoming, or everything staying the same?
Nah, everything the same. Just still day by day, week by week, everything the same.
Going into a game like this, Baylor's got a really good offensive attack. Do you talk to the guys and go, hey, we're gonna have to turn it up this week because probably gonna be a lot of yards thrown around?
Yeah, I think every week has been the mindset of let's go score as much as possible. Not necessarily this week is any different. We know the offense that's on the other side of the ball, but every week's the same goal. We got to go put up points, and obviously you got to score more than them. So. The attention to detail this week in practice will continue to elevate like it has every week, but we definitely got to be on our A game.
We talked about it earlier in the season, but when you're distributing the ball kind of like a point guard, how fun is it that you can see different people have success on a weekly basis?
Yeah, whenever you can get the ball to your playmakers and they can do a lot with it after the catch, that's the end goal, obviously. The end goal is everybody always wants to see the deep shots as a quarterback, though. If you can just kind of just sit back there and just dink and dunk, and they can go get you a lot of yards that way, that's definitely fun to see. And we got a lot of talented guys that can go make a lot of plays for us, whether it's running back, checking the ball down to them, or receivers with some short routes and them doing extra with it. But like I said, we got a really talented group of guys, and it's fun out there for sure distributing.
Cyrus had 3 touchdowns last week. Has he been in your ear early this week?
Nope. He usually doesn't have too much to say as long as he's got that going for him. So, like I told the media on Saturday after the game, I said, I think we probably bought ourselves 2 more weeks until he'll be back in my ear. But, no, he usually never has anything to say. I just usually will make it up and give him a hard time. But, you know, he's a sweetheart, and he's been really good to us.
Has Jeff, you know, he had 2 touchdowns a week before. Has he been the one that's kind of like, hey,
no,
look at me?
No. He's still converted on a big 3rd and 16, so he's the same way. I mean, all of our guys, if you look at the stat sheet, Goody's probably going to be the one to be upset, but Goody's the biggest sweetheart of them all, so Goody ain't going to say anything. So we'll be all good.
You have been sacked twice this year. On the next play, both times, 3rd and long, you have converted. Throw to Royer against Kansas, 3rd and 16 to Caldwell. Do you think of that? Like, they got me, I got to get it back? Like, or is it just go out there, run the play, and try to get the first down on 3rd and long?
It's definitely the second one. It's definitely run the play and see what happens, obviously. But it is definitely, I mean, if 3rd downs aren't going our way in the game, maybe take a sack and then, know that you got those odds in your favor and just heave one down the field and hope you pick it up. No, definitely not that, Chad. But definitely just trust your guys is what it comes down to. And, if you take a sack, just flush the play before and, see what you can do. But I think one of the things we've been really good at this year is taking care of the football. We just got to continue to just not put it in harm's way, but, take some chances when they're there and got to continue to convert.
You talked about the throw to Caldwell a little bit Saturday after the game. When you go back and watch it, do you think, boy, that was a great throw, or I probably shouldn't have tried to force that ball into that spot?
Yeah, no, it was definitely not what the read told me to do is not what I did, but I just kind of saw Jeff with some grass, and I said, you know what, here goes nothing, and Jeff made a great catch on it. I mean, that's really all there was to it because he did have to, like, kind of turn his hands over late, and he was floating a little bit. He's 6'6", and he had to jump for it, so definitely was a little high, but it worked out, so. People usually don't have too many questions when it works out. They usually just praise you, but we just got to keep having fun out there and keep converting.
How early in a game can you feel that rhythm? I mean, a couple of times you guys have just taken the ball the first time and straight down the field in 2 minutes for a touchdown. Can you feel that you're seeing it well right away?
Yeah, and I think it just goes back to preparation and just trusting your guys as well. And knowing that you can check the ball down, not everything has to be, past the sticks on a 3rd and long necessarily because we had a couple 3rd and long conversions, throughout the game that ended up being huge for us. So just preparation and trusting your guys is all it comes down to. Seeing the defense is just, film study throughout the week. And, they're going to do different stuff throughout the game that you might not have prepared for. Just trust what you're seeing out there and let it rip.
I know it's not the end goal. You guys are both eligible. But for a guy that was here last year to see the success, how gratifying is it? I know you have to, 1 week at a time, but to be able to put in the work and see the fruition already.
Yeah, no, it's obviously great to see, more wins than we had last year. But like you just said, it's not the end goal. But everybody in the building knows that it's a huge stepping stone for us as not only a program, but just as a team to – last year we were 5-2 and then lost 5 straight. We were 5-1 and we ended up winning that one to get over the hump. We just got to keep this momentum going, keep taking it 1 game at a time, and see where we are at the end of the year. But we're definitely not satisfied in this building, and we're ready to get back out there.
How much are you able to pay attention to the rest of the league? Are you doing some scoreboard watching now that every game's starting to get a little bit more important, or do you just ignore it and worry about you?
Yeah, so I'm always going to keep up with the league, but it's really just about us, honestly. I think we can, we control our destiny the rest of the way. So we got to take it 1 week at a time, and, that's really all it comes down to. But definitely watching in just because have some buddies on some other teams, but just watching them. Nothing too crazy, but just keeping up with it. And, we just got to focus on us, and we'll be good at the end of the year.